Hi everyone! So the first set of videos that Diego and I are going to be doing are our top 5 disappointments in gaming history that we can think of. Anyway, enjoy the video! And also enjoy the sweet new opening that Diego made for me. Hit it! Number 5. Final Fantasy X-2. Yeah, okay. I'm counting the entire game here as a disappointment. My first problem with this game is the name, Final Fantasy X-2. I know that Square Enix like to, well, milk the cash cow as it were, but Final Fantasy X-2, honestly. Oh goodness. Now, this game for me, it was just, it was just this. Just look at the opening. I mean, it's so, I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, oh, there's dancing and singing and woo. I think literally the only good thing that came out of Final Fantasy X-2 for me personally was pain. Now look at this bitch. She is a badass motherfucker. She's just awesome, and she's rocking that mullet. One of my other problems with this game is, now I know I'm gonna get hate for this, but Yuna herself. In Final Fantasy X, I was never that attached to Yuna, honestly. She was just very plain and uninteresting. So a whole game, not only about her again, but where you had to play as her. Oh! I put my hopes up because the Final Fantasy series, the graphics were getting better and better, but they got to Final Fantasy X-2 and this just a massive disappointment for me. So that's why Final Fantasy X-2 is disappointment number 5.
I think we party enough, don't you?
Number 4. Now, staying on the track of Final Fantasy games, let's skip on over to Final Fantasy VIII. At risk of sounding like a massive bitch again, my biggest disappointment in Final Fantasy VIII was actually catching Rinoa when she's flying around in space. For the first couple of times, I actually genuinely missed her, because for some reason Rinoa's fat ass moves a lot faster than mine, so it was difficult to keep up with her. Then I started getting pissed off. All of my rage for this girl, seriously. The entirety of the game she'd acted like an absolute retard, did nothing but get herself in trouble, and wants nothing more than a man to come and help her out of her situation, which she was the only reason she was in that situation. So Rinoa floating around in space to her doom was amazing. Actually having to catch her and having the game over logo come up every time you didn't was a massive disappointment for me. Thank you, Final Fantasy VIII, for ruining that game for me, just by having that character in it and not letting her die. Number 3. The fact that Trish is technically your mother, and therefore you can't have that. I don't know, playing through the entirety of Devil May Cry 1, I absolutely loved the characters, and even though there were loads of ups and downs with the character Trish, I still thought that for a video game character at the time, she was pretty damn fine. And Dante should have tapped that ass, but then you realise that she looks like your mum, and then you realise technically she is a clone or something of your mother. It's been ages since I played it, so I can't completely remember. All I know is that unless you're really into incest, then god damn you cannot tap that. Bloody demon Mundus is the ultimate in cockblock to make the hottest chick in the game technically your mother.
What?
Number 2. Whenever the main character in any game that you've played ever dies at the end. Now that that is a kick in the face. It's like, hey buddy, well done. You've kept this character alive through the entirety of the whole game. Ha! Lol joke, he's dead now. Ha ha ha. Your hard work was for nothing. Don't you feel like an asshole? Yes, game, I do. Thank you very much. The best example that comes to mind when I think of this is Suikoden 4. Now this game was a really good game actually. I really do enjoy the Suikoden series. But the amount of characters that you've got to try and find, and most of them you've got to try and convince to come onto your side by doing certain things at certain times in the game, it just didn't happen for me. So I didn't manage to get all 180 bloody characters. So in the end, I died. Because if you don't get all 180 characters, for some reason, you die. So yeah, that was a big kick in the teeth. The biggest kick in the teeth of all though, was the fact that when you die, they put you in a little boat, a little rowboat, and then send you out onto the sea. And then it's credit time. And then after the credits, it cuts back to your main character in the boat. And it's like, oh my god, are they going to sit up? Are they going to be fine? Are they alive again? No. No, they are not. Thank you, Suikoden 4, for getting my hopes up and then kicking me in the teeth by going, hey, that character, still dead. Enjoy that. Your fault. God damn you, Suikoden. Your catchy theme tune. And number 1. Being told to shut the fuck up as Ezio Auditore di Firenze at the ending of Assassin's Creed 2. Now, I'm going to admit right here that Ezio is actually my favourite character in the entirety of the Assassin's Creed series. Throughout the game, you see personal growth and development, and that just made me grow amazingly attached to him. You get to see him grow up from this 17-year-old little miscreant into being a master of the assassins, and then in Brotherhood he goes on to, well, reinstate the Brotherhood that Altair had all those years ago. It's just amazing to see the personal growth within him. Characters such as Desmond himself and Lucy, they're just quite bland to me. They've never been my favourite characters, even in the first ones. I just never felt that attached. But characters such as Ezio, Altair, Leonardo, Sean and Rebecca I just loved. They were hilarious and they had their dramatic moments too. And I just felt a lot more attached to them than I did to Desmond and Lucy. So when Minerva basically shrugged Ezio off to speak to Desmond through him, it just felt like, wow, I just felt sorry for Ezio. I mean, he's the one that actually went through the entirety of his life trying to find the truth behind all this, and he basically just gets told to shut up. That's not a very nice experience. Fuck you, Minerva. Your favouritism. And so, my number 1 disappointment that I can think of at the moment in video game history is Ezio being completely shunned by Minerva. A goddess bitch.
My door is always open. Grazie, my friend.
Our guy love, that's all it is. Guy love, he's mine.